Greeting fellow modelers. Today, let's look at an incredible Fiddlers Green kit, the indomitable Cessna 172 from the Quick Build series. So without further ado, let's get into it. I keep saying it and I will continue to say it. To start, go to Fiddlers Green. It will be a great place to learn how to build models. And here we have the Cessna 172, the fuselage, the cabin, the main wing, wheels, landing gear main, the fin, stabilizer. And here basically is the instructions of how to put the whole thing together. This is going to be fun, so let's strap in and begin. So before we begin our build, we need some tools. Steel rule, a tweezer or 2 or 4, my X-Acto knife, my cake decorating tool, my super glue, any crazy glue or super glue, but this tacky glue, yes, hands down the best thing. And some toothpick, a small art brush handle needed, and especially a scissors. This is me and my strategy. I cut the parts out I need to focus on to not clutter the space. So the landing gear, cut out the fin, the fuselage, the nose, that type of thing, so I can just focus on one thing at a time. Everyone has their own method, this is just simply mine. Let's begin with the stabilizer. So here we go. We're just going to cut off the excess paper. I really like the Cessna trainers. They're like world renowned. They're known all over the world. It's almost like oxygen, just everywhere. We use a needle nose tweezer to just form the bends. There you go. And let's strengthen it by slicing a toothpick in half and just putting it in the frame there. And once we do this, we just do the edges only, as you see I'm doing here. Fold down and we're good to go. And that's it. Let's just trim up the edges. Yeah, so that we make it more presentable. And the wing assembly. So let's break down the parts. Let's cut the top sections out. And you see that? We're going to curve the wingtip, as you will see. So let's just get rid of the excess paper here. I hope you like the series so far. You can let me know in the comment what you'd like to let me build in the future. Here we're just getting rid of the excess. Now, we use our needle nose pliers to score, and then with the assistance of the steel rule, we're just bending the edge all over. So here you see me bend, then I'm going to use my paintbrush handle to put a curve in the leading edge, and look what I use the tip of the brush handle to do. You see that? It comes with practice, but it works wonders. We're going to strengthen the center of our main wing. We just glue now. So here's what I'm doing. I am attaching the rear first, the trailing edge of the wing. I attach that first, then I will glue the leading edge, and then the wingtips. There. Now this is looking decent. Any excess thing we can trim off, like you see me do here. That's not bad. I quite like how the wing is turning out. This is pretty good. We repeat the same for the next side. You see me do the trailing edge. Then I'm going to put glue on the folds for the leading edge. And there we have it. The wing that comes together. Nice. Little trim here and there, what we need, and then we put aside. Awesome. The fin comes together pretty easy, yes? So usual cutout. I enjoy these Fiddlers Green kit. They're such lovely models and the practice is very good. And for the little more experienced modelers out there, it's a way to relax. You can just build something unique in a few hours and you're good to go. Look at that. We just use our toothpick to make sure that there's no glue in the center. So here's where things get interesting now. We're going to cut out everything as instructed on the plans. And then I want to thank Larry McLeod for this. Larry, on behalf of Chip and myself, thank you so much for providing a beautiful model. Cut out the fuselage area here for the stabilizer. Put that aside. Now here's where things get interesting. We're going to now draw from the edge of the landing gear to the underside there. We're going to just score it lightly. In this I did it a bit heavy, so therefore it left a mark, but you do it lightly. So you can start with that fold. We just curve the bottom slightly. Look what I'm going to do to the top now. You see how I curve the top? It's at the base of where the cabin would be. There. And then we're going to do it to the other side. It's almost where the green bar, the streak, is. And then we're going to just glue together. This comes together pretty good. Nice. And then we're going to fold these area. Please don't make the mistake that I made and forgot to score those parts. It would make life a lot easier for you. We then join these because they help us now with assembling the front part of our fuselage. Put the glue there, we fold. Nice. You notice I didn't score the cabin area. I sort of just use my fingers here to help bend. And we do the same there, and then we join the top. Nice. Get all the type of tweezer you can. And here now, I'm using the brush handle to just shape the front part that will now hold the nose. And there we have a decent looking cabin, starting to look like that Cessna we all know and love. So the nose assembly, it is simple enough, but here's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to just add a little curve in it. So once we do this, look what I'm doing to the front of it where the tabs are. We're going to just join it here. And then we're going to put the tip of our brush handle there to just curve the leading edge. Yeah, it will take practice, but it does add so much to the model. You should try this. Try it on a scrap piece of paper. You'd be amazed at what you can get. Look at that. You see that look a little more realistic instead of just flat? And this will translate to when you're building more complex model in the future. But that little thing adds to it. Of course, we use our watercolor pencil to just shade the edges, join it to our main fuselage, Make sure the parts are aligned and we're good to go. I find like the trim, the decorative trim on it is not exactly 100% aligned, but it looks pretty good. Please remember, this is a fun scale model, so it's not 100% accurate. So let's put on the fin and the stabilizer that we did before. We just smear some glue here. Make sure it's aligned in the center. Nice. Then we're going to just punch a small hole here. This is where we're going to put our toothpick and then our fin on. And look how the beauty of it comes together now. We'll apply glue to both the fin and the frame. Look there. Look how it comes together. Beautiful. Larry sure did a great job in designing. The fin fairing now, needle nose tweezer to score it so that we can fold it properly, a little glue, and there we go. Beautiful. Don't worry about the edges. When it comes time to finishing, we will be good. The only thing for the wing integration you have to pay attention to is one, that it's in the center. That's the first thing. And then the second thing is, make sure it is aligned properly and that it is 90 degrees to the fuselage. Even use a steel rule if you can to just make sure it is. And then once it's secured, you can just use super glue along the edge there to lock it in place. And there you go. Main landing gear, once we cut out, and then we are going to use our tweezer again to just square along the center of it. As you see, we're going to use some strips of toothpick to strengthen the landing gear. We fold, put in the toothpick strips. Okay, so it's not the full toothpick, it's just strips, right? To just add some strength. And once we do this, we just super glue once it's attached to the fuselage, and it makes it strong. Here we go. We just clip off the excess when we're ready. We align it. Yes, it looks good. We then apply our glue, the tacky glue first. Once we achieve the alignment, we use super glue to lock everything in place. Lovely. Now the wing strut, I'm using the back end of the knife to just crease the struts which we're going to fold. Then we cut the struts out. Apply glue down the center line. Use a steel rule to flatten it. Repeat the process. Now look at this. It's going to be a bit longer than what is there. So we're going to make a judgment call, do a little measurement. We cut and then we trim and we continue to measure until we get the proper length. And once we get the length, we just get the other piece and just make it align. There we go. Put a little tacky glue and just rest in place. You don't have to press firmly or anything. You just tack it in place. and you're good. Nose wheel, we just cut the nose wheel out from the excess paper. We're going to use a toothpick to roll that strip, and then we glue everything together. See how I use a toothpick to curve it? Nice. We just check to see that everything is there. Then we're going to apply glue. To strengthen this nose gear, we're going to take a tiny strip of toothpick and we're going to strengthen it. We glue that in place. Color the edge of the wheel to let it look a little more realistic. And then super glue everything. Make it so hard. Then we punch a hole. Look carefully where I did it. And then we put the nose gear in. Simple 1-2 mats, as we say. Nice. Nice. The main wheel assembly, basically it's the same as what we did with the nose wheel. We curve, we glue, and we color the edge of the wheel. Now look how I flatten it. Never use your hands, never use your fingers. Just use a steel rule and just gently tack down on it and you're good. Repeat the same process for the other one. Steel rule, good. And then you color the edges. Get messy on the finger, no problem. A little tacky glue, and then we're going to secure now with the super glue. Now remember, I do not know about other glue, but I find like a lean tacky glue and super glue, it becomes literally rock hard within 5-6 seconds. And that's it. Nice looking aircraft. So let's deal with the cabin canopy. Once we cut all the parts out, there's going to be some trimming involved, especially with the windshield. So we make those splices there, because that's where the trailing edge of the wing is going to go. We fold that part only, we leave the top alone. Look what happens now. And it locks in place right like that. After we make sure it looks good, we then put for final fit in there. Pretty nice. Now the windshield, you see me curve the sides and the top, and it's going to take a little trimming now. So we check the fit. Okay, we need to take off a little off the front there. We check again. Okay, we need to take a little bit out of the leading edge where it is. So we do that. We check again, and once it works, we go, okay, this looks good. Lock everything down. The prop and the spinner, it's a basic 1-2. The spinner, we just do this part here with the back of the X-Acto knife to fold it. We cut the spinner out. Use our brush handle. Lock that up. We're good. And then, once we're finished, we fold the prop. Glue. The prop, notice what I'm doing here. I'm not exactly following the prop lines because it is more angled. If you look at the real aircraft, the actual aircraft, and you'll see that the prop blade is more rectangle. It's not curved. And you see I put on a little back plate to just brace it off the fuselage. It's just a card strip. The finishing is what will sell your model. You see I'm just using just the canary yellow and the green. Paint all the edges. Use the green to paint where it needs to be. And spend time with this. This is what brings your model alive. So that's it. And here we have your model. I want to thank my Patreon sponsors, and as a matter of fact, I want to thank you for watching this video, giving it a like, and even commenting. This helped the channel grow. Thank you so much, my friends. So until next time, take care, walk good, and as always, one love.